Hi, guys, and welcome to Food Vendors Reality. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach and author of Food Truck 101 Beginner to Winner. Today, we've got a guest speaker. His name is Doug Maxon, and he's going to talk to you guys about a step-by-step guide to building your digital foundation for your food truck. So let's get into the presentation. I appreciate everybody that came in tonight. It's an awesome turnout. I want to introduce Doug Maxon. He is the owner-operator of Blue Country Snowballs and Barbecue Cafe in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And besides the cafe that he runs, he has a food truck, and he also helps with brand management and everyday digital marketing through his sister company that's called White Bus Media. So I'm going to let Doug take over and help you guys out with all your digital marketing questions. So it's all yours, Doug.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill, first of all, for putting this together. And thank you for everybody that joined in and took time to introduce yourself in the beginning. And if you didn't, feel free to hit me up at the end. And I'd like to meet everybody and kind of find out what you're about. And if you can't see me real well, go ahead and holler or something. I'll try to fix my lighting. I got some pretty hard light in here. But as Bill said, so I moved back to Michigan in 2015, actually retired from the military. I had a career. I did mostly federal law enforcement for the military, worked for CID, NCIS, did a lot of psychology type stuff in that realm, which as I transitioned out of the military, I actually went and worked at a brewery for 4 years. I was the head brewer, handled all their social media marketing for a brewery here in Michigan, Four Leaf Brewing in Clare. And then we started a barbecue food truck, and it just kind of took off on us. So we went from 2015, we went from backyard catering to a food truck to a brick and mortar. And now we have a brick and mortar and the food truck. We actually sold our full blown barbecue food truck this year, and we're in the process of building out a shaved ice trailer. And we're going to niche down, which is one of the things that we're going to talk about right now that is really big in the industry as far as trying to keep up. So niching down is one of the things that we're actually doing with our own place this year, just to keep up with the economy and the market and kind of the way that the food industry is going with the inception of Web 3.0 and the digital era and things of that nature. So when we get into digital marketing, a lot of it is content marketing, which we'll talk about the content that you put out over your platforms. And what it turns into is content marketing. Digital marketing is not, we all hear the term marketing campaigns, and digital marketing and content marketing has just kind of turned into more of a commitment than it has been a campaign. And for those of you folks that already have your food trucks and you're running and you have to maintain your social media and talk to your customers and handle the reviews and make sure you have stuff out there, you already know kind of what a full-time job it can turn into to really get yourself and your momentum going. So what we have here is just kind of a 5-step process that we've come through in order to help people set up that digital foundation in order to start driving the right content to your customers. And that's what we're going to get into today. So why is my, oh shoot, now of course my screen's not moving. There we go. Okay, so on the agenda, and you're going to see, I love quotes. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of marketing quotes that I put up there. And this really comes into play when you start thinking about what people want to watch as we are going through all of our social media and stuff. And it's no longer really about really what you make, but what story can you tell? Everything, not only does the business owner have a story, your business has a story, your food truck has a story, that hamburger you make has a story. And that's really where we want to get people's mindset shifting from just putting a picture of what I got out there and hoping people are attracted to it. Tell us about that food that you have. What is the story of that burger? And we'll get into a little bit more of that when we talk about driving your actual, or I'm sorry, creating your actual content that you put out. So we're going to talk about why we're going to digital marketing, go over the 5 steps to build your digital foundation. And then we're going to have, we should have about 20-30 minutes for Q&A. I tried to keep this presentation as basic as possible so that I have time to answer not only your individual questions when we get to the end, But so many people are going to have so many different ways that they want to take this. Um, it's really hard to answer all of that in one 30-minute presentation. So that all the individual things that you guys need help with, or you have questions that I don't get to answer in this forum, feel free to make sure you write down my email, my phone number, all that stuff at the end, and I'll get with everybody individually and kind of work you through whatever roadblocks or hurdles you're kind of feeling in the digital marketing world, because this digital marketing is just kind of new for everybody. And it's just kind of, especially, we're not teenagers, so for adults who run restaurants that sit on social media, kind of sometimes we have that stigma about what we're doing, this, that, and the other. But it's super important right now that we're able to get ourselves and our business online and tell that story about what we're doing. So getting into that, why digital marketing? Okay, why digital marketing? Well, first off, this is my favorite marketing quote on the right. The best marketing doesn't feel like marketing. Okay. If marketing feels like marketing, you should be a salesman, because marketing is not there. What am I trying to say? Marketing should solve a problem for your business, right? If you are doing something and it's not solving a problem for your business through your marketing, it's not working the best for you, I guess I would say. In the restaurant industry, we've survived for decades and years off of the word of mouth. Currently, in the era that we're going into, the word of mouth is turning onto the digital era, simply because, so for those of us that were really doing a lot of things back in the 90s, when the web really first came out, you went on, it was kind of a cool thing to have your business, that you could have a website and everybody could go to that one website and find out anything and everything they wanted to know about your business. And it was amazing. So in the mid 2000s, when we started getting into social media, we transitioned the internet to what they refer to as Web 2.0, where it wasn't just an information database, but it kind of started to where we started using the internet as a social interaction, and Facebook, and I think MySpace when it first started, and all that other stuff. We transitioned to the real social aspect of the internet. This year in the 2020s, what we're heading into in 2022 especially, is what they're referring to as Web 3.0. And it's where a lot of society is really, we're learning how to conduct everything we do online. My girlfriend and I jokingly call them American zombies sometimes, because, you go to the mall and we're walking around just like this. We are so attached to this digital world. Everything we do anymore is in our cell phone or on our laptop. So we've kind of immersed ourselves as a society into the web, and that's where Web 3.0 is coming up. So that word of mouth that we've always been able to live off of is now surviving on the internet. It's no longer, we don't have to have that. You still do. You can still have the neighborhood people running around talking about how good your food is, but people really want to see your smile online now. They're gonna compare you online to everybody around you, and they're going to make a determination of who they're going to go see based off of if they see that smile online or not. Conventional methods of marketing over the years have really shifted to online. And there's you can kind of read those there. Podcast is kind of taking place of radio. A lot of people, we stream radio in our vehicles now. So it's not uncommon for restaurants, especially, to spend $1,500 and up, sometimes to get on the radio. And how many people are we truly reaching anymore with a lot of these paid channels that we're doing? We can put video on the internet. That's just like TV, blogs, commercials through our social posting, photography. And what we're doing now is we're able to capture a target market for our restaurant specifically. I can spend $800 a month to put a billboard 3 miles down the road, but what's the guarantee that people driving by are going to see it? And on top of that, I have a barbecue restaurant. What's the guarantee that 3 miles down the road, people are not only not going to see the billboard, but what's to say that they're even my target market? My target market aren't the only people that drive down this highway that we're on. So not only are people looking for that online, but as business owners, the internet has really opened up a tool for us to reach our target market 110% directly without going through all those old um, conventional methods to where we're kind of just waiting for them people to come in and say, oh yeah, I heard you on the radio, this, that, and the other. We can ensure that people that want to know about us hear about us because we can put it right in the palm of their hands, through their laptops, things of that nature. So the steps, this is the bread and butter of what we're going to talk about today. Okay, the steps of creating your digital foundation. Okay, and one thing about this is all just like, we've all started our food trucks. We're building our second one right now. Failure, we are, as entrepreneurs, we're already not afraid to fail. You wouldn't be doing what you're doing, right? It's kind of that you've already put that foot over the line. You're on your way to go. So this is a way to niche this down and make it easier for you to get yourself out there within the community. And as I go through these steps, what I really want you to keep in mind, digital marketing is not the only thing of marketing anymore. Grassroots marketing, getting out in your communities, supporting your local schools, taking part in community events. We do an Easter egg hunt every single year. We plant a golden egg somewhere. When COVID first hit, we actually did what we call the social distancing Easter egg hunt, and we went and we had everybody donate Easter eggs, and then we, as a restaurant, we went around to the community and we hid Easter eggs for kids that, it was the middle of COVID. We were on lockdown. So we went and sanitized all the eggs, hid like 15 eggs in front of each kid's house. Little things like that is still amazing. We live in a university town. I would take my racks of barbecue that was left over at the end of the night, jump in our catering van, cruise down to a frat party. And if you're not good on social media, right? If you're all this stuff is going to kind of be a little German to you, I would put 10, 15 pounds of leftover barbecue inside of a tray, take it down to a frat house that was having a party on Friday night, walk in and set it down. And the only way I would leave it there for them is if all the college kids took photos of it and put it on their Snapchat and social media and all that other stuff with our logo on it. So that was kind of our way that we weren't really comfortable with more than Facebook, a little bit of Instagram at the time, but it was like, I've got 30,000 college kids over here that'll put this on Snapchat and it'll spread like wildfire. So there are grassroots way around some of this that you can still do something. Any type of action that you can start doing. And I'm going to touch on one aspect that is really important in today's age towards the end of this. It doesn't really have to do with setting up the 5 steps, but it's something that you really, really need to be doing as far as capturing a customer database in order to track your customers and be able to target market to those people that you already know want to come back to you. So we'll talk about that as we get down some of the steps also. So these are the 5 steps that we're going to go over. This will definitely be the bread and butter. So let's rock it. Okay. So the first step, especially in today's world that we're talking about, is niching down to stand out. I told everybody in the beginning, we had a barbecue place. Well, we have a barbecue place still, actually. I'm sitting in it. So 2020, when COVID hit, we had an amazing year. We rocked it. Last year, we kind of really went outside of our comfort zone a lot. We actually opened up a food truck park. We put our food truck over there. We were still running our restaurant. In fact, I think I just saw John from 520 jump in here. John actually came to the food truck park with us a couple of times last year. We were trying to get it going, and it just really took us by storm when the meat market went up. We had some things happen with our restaurant. We were having employee issues, and we could just never get our feet underneath us with the food truck park to really put the time and effort into it that it needed to really be that community spot that we hoped it was going to be. And that really, when the meat market went off, that really got us going, man, like this is for us in barbecue. We were already pushing a 40% food cost, right? We had to kind of get our costs down in other areas to be able to afford that 40% food cost. When everything skyrocketed last year, I mean, our bread and butter was brisket, ribs, and pork belly. I can't afford that now, going from 18 employees down to 4, and it's so stressful and it's so hard, and it's very easy to run yourself getting burned out and running ragged And one thing that we can really do in the first step to do that is niching down. Okay. So I said before, I kind of explained the barbecue thing again, because we're niching down from full service barbecue, that when we reopen this next year, we're selling shaved ice and augmenting with pulled pork when we can. And the reason behind that is just going down from 18 people to 4. There's no way that we can keep up with that demand anymore. We're a seasonal business, so we're only open May to October-ish, November sometimes. And how do you really expect to get employees when you're running a seasonal business? You can't hire a manager and be like, oh, by the way, in 4 months, you're gonna be laid off for half the year. So niching down to where it's something that's sustainable. There's power in being a 2-foot tall purple elephant in your community, because people notice. So instead of doing the full blown brisket and ribs and all this other crazy stuff that we have on the menu, take that down to what you want to do and do that the best. Figure out what you like to do and do it the best. Okay. This is also something that most big brands have in common. Like when you think about Nike, shoes, athletic apparel, all big brands that are out there have all started with some specific niche to make it small. So even a lot of diners right now, when you think about diners, that they have the breakfast menu, then they have sandwiches, and then they might have some Mexican burritos on there, and then they got their dinner menu, and they got steaks, and they might do a little bit of barbecue, and they got a kids menu. One thing I always tell people, when you go out to eat, when you're looking at all these different places, what are they doing? Okay, what are the big guys doing they pay marketers millions of dollars a year throughout the different companies to figure out what are they doing. And any restaurant you walk into now, their menu is niched down. Their menus are a lot smaller. A lot of it has to do with supply. A lot of it has to do with the economy, but everybody's niching down. It makes it a lot easier to prepare your mission statement for your business. It makes your mission statement a lot clearer, so that the people who see this can actually get that clear, concise information of what you're doing. And when we talk about the target market, when you niche down your target market, figure your specific target market down 3 layers. Okay. You can see the example there. We got people who enjoy eating out. Obviously, if you're a restaurant, you're a food truck, you want people who enjoy eating out, right? But niche it down a little bit more. Figure out the people that you want to design your specific content for. Go down 3 layers. So if you have music, people who enjoy live music while eating out. Okay. Then I threw this in here, young couples who enjoy live music while eating out, because my target market is now going to be, the younger couples who are going to have kids. That's for me specifically, because selling shaved ice, my target market is kids. I'm not going to get as many adults out. If I can market to your kids and they want to come get shaved ice, that's who I have to reach. So my niching down 3 would obviously be people who enjoy new experiences, because where we're at in Michigan, shaved ice isn't a huge thing. People who have kids, and we're looking at that market of people who are kind of, young couples, because now I've got them kids when they're young, and I can keep them in my market as they go. So think about what you serve as your food. Think about what you think about your target market, and see if you've niched down that 3 layers to really identify who you want to get your information to. That's the first step. After that, it's time to create your brand. Your brand is what's going to carry you and your business through all the successes, right? Your color scheme, your logos. Once you know who your target market is, now you want to create your color scheme and your logos. And sometimes this goes with a rebranding. We're doing that this year as well. We're working on some new logos, some new color schemes. Colors matter. Different colors mean different things. Black and yellow probably not going to appeal to the kid market that I have to get as much as, say, the pastel colors will, So colors matter. Just because you as a business owner have a favorite color, that favorite color isn't necessarily going to resonate with your target audience the same way. So keep that in mind when you're coming up with your unique brand and what you're doing. Not only do colors matter, but your mood board. If you have a hard time doing this, what you really sit down and do a mood board, and that's a whole nother topic of conversation. I won't dive too deep into it. You can Google it, but it's basically just taking things that resonate with you as your business, and it's giving your business its own personality via whiteboard, corkboard. You can actually do them on Pinterest online now, but put together a mood board for your business, and you'll start to really see what colors resonate with your brand personality just off of thinking about it. And it might be totally different than what you got going on right now. The other thing to do is a customer avatar. Has anybody ever done a customer avatar before? Okay, that's where that's where you're taking your target market and you're describing your target market as if it was a human being. Okay, so my avatar, if I'm going to do one just real quick off the top of my dome for shaved ice, I might say, this is Johnny. He's 12 years old. He plays sports. He's active. He rides a bicycle to and from school. And I'm really going to design this person that I said, if I had the perfect person to come get shaved ice, this is what they would look like. This is what they would do. This is how they would act. This is where they would be. And create that person, create that avatar. And every time you're creating content, speak to that avatar, talk to that avatar that you created. Okay. Because that's who you want to hear what you're saying. All right, once you've got your logo, your colors, you got all that stuff down, you've niched down, it's time to start creating your digital marketing vehicles. Okay, this is kind of the part that's going to take you a little bit of time to really put together, because it's very important for not only search engine optimization, but you want to have your logo, your phone number, your address, everything your color scheme, everything the same through all your different channels. We call these digital marketing vehicles because everything that you see here is going to drive your content and drive your information to that target audience of that avatar you created, right? So at a minimum, those are the 5 things that you should look at putting together: your internal marketing tactics, a website that converts with online ordering. And that doesn't necessarily have to be 2 different things in today's day and age. There's so many online ordering platforms that will serve as your website. But in 2022, if you don't have a website, definitely looking to get yourself a website with online ordering, because it's huge. I will save my third-party delivery theories for another day. But all I will say on that is, when you're setting up your website and you're doing online ordering, make sure that you're using an online ordering platform that can do what is considered native ordering. Okay. So if you do native ordering and you can send somebody to your own website to place the order, a lot of the native ordering platforms, they will still dispatch DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, but you don't pay the same fees by having them dispatch their drivers. So it's just an integrated system that they have with a lot of different online ordering systems. So make sure your online ordering system can do native orders. Okay. Internal marketing tactics. These are the things that you put on your food truck. So the cool thing about food trucks is we put all this stuff on the outside of our food trucks. We can put QR codes. We can do all that stuff on the outside of our food truck, and everybody sees it. At a minimum, you want to make sure you have Facebook and Instagram. I also tell people now TikTok. I'm actually just now getting my feet wet with TikTok a little bit. One thing that I will tell you I learned about TikTok, I kind of screwed myself last week. I started a second TikTok account for kind of the marketing thing that we're doing. I put it on my same phone. I kind of started sharing videos back and forth, and TikTok has no problem shutting you down so nobody sees your videos if you don't do it the right way. So before you get on TikTok and before you start just hammering videos out there, spend some time on TikTok learning the platform, spend some time on there knowing what their algorithm is, because they're changing a lot of things, because they're trying really hard to compete with Instagram and Facebook. I shouldn't say that. I should say Instagram and Facebook are trying really hard to compete with them. Short form video is the new thing that people are all about. If you have Facebook, you'll see that Facebook came out with this Reels feature, right? So you can do 15 to 30 second videos. Instagram has the same thing. The whole reason that Facebook and Instagram went to Reels is because TikTok was just blowing them out of the water with people on the platform and what they were doing. So now they've integrated all that. And now the cool thing that they're all doing, I think TikTok starting it like as of tomorrow, if you share a video that was made on another platform. So if I take an Instagram video and just put it automatically on TikTok, they're gonna throttle back how many people get to actually see that stuff. So make sure that you're using the platforms to create the stuff inside the platforms as well. Google My Business. This is one that's missed by a lot of people. Google My Business is huge for your SEO. Okay, go into Google My Business. Make sure your business is verified. Make sure you claim your business. Make sure you're active with all your reviews on there. The one great thing that you can use Google My Business for is every time that you get a review on Google and you go in there and respond, think about 15 to 20 keywords that describe your business. You know, if you do barbecue, or if you do cheesesteaks, or if you do grilled cheese, whatever you do, put together 15 to 20 keywords. And anytime you respond to your reviews, drop 2 to 3 to 4 keywords in your response to the reviews, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Instagram, whatever it be, always drop your keywords. As Google does searches across the different platforms, it'll pick that up. The more that your business has those keywords, you're going to climb to the top of your local SEO faster than not using the keywords, if that makes sense. Okay. Also, the other thing that's kind of small for SEO, but it can be big in the long run, is if you have your menu on your website, right, or any of these other platforms, get out of the habit of trying to put a PDF picture of your menu up, because when Google scans all these different places that you are active, Google cannot scan PDF for those keywords, right? So if you type your menu into your website or things of that nature, Google can scan that. It will actually pick up the keywords for you, give you a little bit better SEO for what you're working with. Okay. So definitely pay attention to Google My Business. Also make sure that you claim your business. I was just working with a guy down in Florida, actually, that has a food truck and a tree trimming company, and he never claimed his Google My Business. And another tree trimming company went in, claimed his business, left everything the same, but directed the website to their website. So anybody that goes, searches him on Google, clicks the website, it takes him to a totally different business's website, and he's going through a whole recertification process with Google right now. So Google, when you put your stuff out there, you may say, I don't have a Google My Business, so I'm not worried about it. You'd be surprised, because like I said, Google scans everything on the internet. So they will create a Google listing for you, and you may not even know it's there. So just make sure you take a look, make sure you have your Google My Business claimed, and that you're active on there a little bit, as well as with your other social media channels. So once you've got those those internal marketing tactics, and you know where you're headed, what platforms you're going to use, it's time to start talking about creating your strategic content. With restaurants, with food trucks, we get all hot and heavy. We get it right to this spot right here, and then it's just so hard to keep up because we are jack of all trades. If the bathroom goes out, we're fixing the bathroom. If we get a flat tire on the food truck, we're fixing our flat tire. We're fixing our fryer. We're doing our generator. We're planning where we're going to be next. We got to clean stuff up. We got to go get food. We got to prep food. This is the first thing right here that falls off, is creating the content. So I tell people, do what is considered the Costanza effect, is what I call it, right? So, because I don't know if anybody's a big Seinfeld fan. I'm really not, but I saw a snippet of a Seinfeld episode where George Costanza was talking about everything I do, no matter what I do, it's wrong, right? So Seinfeld's answer to him was, well, just whatever you want to do the opposite then, right? So when we get into something like this and we see, hey, there's 5 different things I got to do, there's 3 different platforms, there's a Google My Business, there's this, I got to learn TikTok, I got to get on Instagram. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to learn every single thing all at once. If you're not on Facebook yet, get on Facebook, okay? Spend your first 2 to 3 weeks to a month really getting on Facebook and really learning how to reach your target audience on Facebook. Once you figure out on Facebook, shift that to Instagram. Once you figure out Instagram, shift that to TikTok. Then shift it to a podcast. Then shift it to whatever you feel is right or comfortable for your business. but you don't have to be perfect at all of them all at once. Imperfect action is better than no action at all. Okay. If you don't put anything out, you're not going to reach anybody. When we talked about breaking that down 3 layers, if you target that 3rd layer, the other 2 layers are still going to see your content, right? That's why we're driving down to that avatar. Couple other things that we do with our content, or we're going to be implementing this year as we niche down also, is try to just take a day and set up all your content for the week, right? And then forget about it. Engage with it as people respond, but try to get it all pre-programmed and set up. One thing that we're going to try to play a game this year as far as hiring goes, and we got to hire a couple people. We're not going to hire many as we did last year, but when we hire our people this year, we're actually going to hire our main hires are going to be content creators, and we are going to pull content creators from hopefully from the local. We have a university here, so instead of just being somebody who can come slang barbecue and shaved ice and whatever, I want people who can come and create content. I'm going to find those people that can do the good Instagram videos, that can do the TikTok videos, that can do the stuff. And I might even pay them an extra 5 to 10 hours a week, just because I know that when they're at work, they're going to take all these videos of the food they make, the little things outside when there's downtime, whatever the case may be. Remember that TikTok and Instagram are only like 10, 15-second videos. If you get somebody who's good at it, they'll enjoy doing it. You pay them a little bit more and you're going to reap those benefits, and you can probably drive your bottom line to pay that person's entire salary for the month if you do it right and they're good enough. So that's going to be kind of, I haven't tested that theory yet, but I think that's what we came up with this year for us to try to get some good hires, because everybody's avoiding the restaurant and the food truck industry like it's the plague. So to get those hires, that's one thing that we're going to look at this year. I won't regurgitate words that are already written on screen in front of you. This probably the busiest screen that I have in the presentation. But take a second to just bruise through that. And the biggest thing that I want to reiterate, as I said in the beginning, is that everything has a story. Okay? Everything has a story. That hamburger has a story. Do you use grass-fed, organic beef? Are your buns homemade from a local bakery? Do you bake your own buns? Do you make your own French fries from potatoes? What do you do? Show that process in a 15-second video. Everything has a story. If you get on there and just start doing it, you can. I'm new to the TikTok game in the last few months. My TikTok videos probably still suck compared to a lot of the creators that are out there. But if you go back and look at anybody's TikTok accounts from when they first started on the platform to where they're at now, and once you get that feeling, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, whatever, once you get that internal feeling of like, oh God, whatever I do is going to suck because there's so much good content out there. Once you get through that, you're going to do fine. You're going to do absolutely fine. You're going to realize that it's fun. You're going to realize that you're not the only 40-plus-year-old person that's out there playing on TikTok or Instagram. And you're going to start to see the benefits on the backside also when people resonate with what you're trying to show them. So really, really, really think about how to tell that story. And you know what? You can go on there. I guarantee you, no matter what niche your food truck is in, there's somebody on TikTok or Instagram who's already killing it on that platform. Go in there, look and see what videos are working well for them, and recreate them with your own words and your own food, right? Kind of just, nitpick a little bit and figure out the ones that tell your story. But also don't forget that when you're telling these stories, that we want to tell the story in our brand personality also. We kind of want to keep our personal out of it. We want our brand to go with it, unless there's a lot of food trucks, especially a lot of food trucks are branded by the person who's behind the window, because that's who it is. So if it is your personality, rock it. But if it's not, if your brand has a different personality, keep that in mind when you're giving out your stories. Otherwise, you're going to really bounce around with who's delivering the information, and you're going to lose people as you go. Okay. Last but not least, once we've got all that done, it's now time that we need to start driving traffic to our strategic content. So we're going to take those vehicles, right? I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. Drive traffic to your target market. We're going to take the vehicles that we made in step 3. We're going to take the content, we're going to put it in those vehicles, and we're going to use those vehicles to deliver and drive that content to our target market. because if we can't get it in front of anybody, it does no good, right? It does no good. I told you my TikTok count kind of got like, they call it shadow ban, where I'm not reaching anybody because the way that I messed it up when I started the account. So I spent the last 2 weeks just playing on TikTok videos, knowing that I'm not doing anything. But when you start getting into a lot of this social media posting, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, it's really about the most at bats. How many at bats can you take, right? The more at bats you get, the more balls you're going to knock out of the park. You know, you got to get up there and swing the bat. Not getting up and swinging the bat is not going to get you anywhere. So it's all about repetition, consistency, just moving it. So here's where I'm going to talk about the customer database for a second. To get your content in front of people who already love your business, whether it's paid or organic, a customer database is going to be the future of your business in the next 2 to 3 years. And I'm going to reiterate that. And I want you to remember this conversation. A good customer database of tracking the data is going to be the best thing you can do for your business the next 2 to 3 years as we transition to Web 3.0. Okay. This is where I will go on my soapbox for a quick second about the third-party delivery systems, because if you're using them and you're not using the native delivery apps like I talked about in the beginning, they're keeping a customer database of everybody who orders your food. They're getting their name, their email, their phone number, their birthday. They're sending them offers based off of all the information that they're gathering from them. DoorDash does not care if that person orders from the cheesesteak truck or the barbecue truck or the 520 food truck. DoorDash doesn't care where any of those come from. DoorDash just cares that there's a delivery involved. So as this progresses, there's a lot of ghost kitchens popping up. There's a lot of virtual kitchens popping up, and those can work in your favor too, as a food truck or a restaurant. But there's just, if you don't have a customer database, you're going to start losing your target market. So out of anything right now, figure out how to start capturing your customers' information. There's ways you can automate it. There's ways you can do it. Right now, only 15% of restaurants are really capturing customer information and actually target marketing it. What we're really doing is we're just jumping on Facebook. We're putting out pictures of our food in hopes that somebody finds it. Okay. But if we can use the content that we create and get it to the existing customers that we know love us and want to be in that customer database, they're going to spread that word of mouth for us, because we're giving them this information digitally. We don't have to see them in passing at the mall anymore and talk to them about where we're going to be on Saturday. We can hand this information to them in a gift wrap basket via the internet, and they're going to spread it for you. Okay. So those are the people you want to capture in your database, is your core people who really care about your business and love you, because they're going to light your business of return customers. There's 3 types of marketing. Every time you put out a post or a content or something, there's 3 things you should be looking at. Am I looking at acquisition? Am I looking at monetization? Or am I looking at engagement, right? Acquisition is really the only time that we're putting together content to create new customers. If I need to create new people in my database, I'm going to do some acquisition campaigns so I can build that database. Once I have the database, I'm going to put out monetization campaigns, because I want the people in that database to now come back and spend more money, right? And then engagement, now I'm going to send out some engagement things, and I want those people to kind of engage with my post and share it to other people to keep the customer retention and keep that customer coming back. If you can get a customer who only comes, say, once a month, and you have an average ticket of around, say, $20, right? And you can get that one customer to come back 3 times that month, that's $60. You know, you get 10 customers to come back 3 extra times, that's $600. So it doesn't take hundreds of people. It doesn't take you turning hundreds of people into loyal customers. It's about 600. At about 600, and I can show the breakdown on another time. If you have 600 customers and you break them down, 200 who love you and they'll come 2 to 3 times a week, 200 will come once a week, and 200 will come once a month. You'll off those 600 customers alone, you'll gross like $100,000 in revenue, right? So it's really about finding them core people that are really going to be loyal to you right now and hold on to them, because the internet's about to get crazy with all the marketing and all the stuff. And if you own a food truck, you know how many food trucks have popped up in the last 2 years too. So there's a lot of competition out there right now. So capture your target market and get a way that you can reach out to them. We do a lot of SMS marketing for a lot of restaurants and food truck right now. And in the right areas, SMS marketing is killer. If you hate SMS marketing, I'll reiterate this to you again real quick too. In 2 to 3 years, SMS marketing is going to do the same thing to your text messaging that email marketing did to your email inbox. So just be prepared for it, because everybody's getting into SMS and email marketing, and it's extremely important for restaurants. And SMS marketing for food trucks, in all honesty, is probably the best place you can have it, because we travel around, right? So you could have a list of people who, I'm going to use Michigan cities. So if you're not familiar with Michigan, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll use big cities. Everybody will know. So if you're going to be in Chicago, I can have a Chicago list, and only the Chicago people will get the text message I'm going to be there. If I'm going to be in Detroit, I got a Detroit list. Only the Detroit people will know I'm going to be there. Think about the SMS portion of it, kind of like a pyramid. You've got your VIP guys up here on top. They want to know everything, but you might have me down here on your list, and I'm allergic to seafood. So I don't care when you're doing seafood. I just want to know when you're going to be in Detroit so I can come check you out. So you can really funnel your list down so that people are only getting the information they want. When you really screw it up with email and SMS marketing is when you feel like you just have to hammer them every single day with 2 or 3 emails, 2 or 3 text messages, because people will opt out quicker than they can even read it, because we don't want that. We want it delivered we want to see the content that we want at the times that we want, right? So I will be putting together some more SMS marketing packages, some email marketing packages. That will be a completely different presentation that I'm kind of working on right now. But if that interests you, make sure you hit me up so we can talk about that email and SMS marketing. And I think, all right. So I know I flew through. It took me 43 minutes. I was hoping for 35 to 40. So I didn't do too bad, but I did fly through it pretty quick to maintain the hour. So real quick, Bill, if you can hear me, if you got any questions that came through the chat box or anything, or if anybody has them now, let's rock this for a few minutes.
There's no one that's asking questions yet, but if y'all have questions, you can either chat, raise your hand. Well, there's Lauren. Let's start with Lauren.
Hey, I enjoyed that presentation. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
You were right about that TikTok. So my niece came this weekend and just gave me a lesson on TikTok, and I learned how to take 5-second videos. She said, make your videos no longer seconds. She said, and then you'll put them in the sequence, and it looks like you did it all at one time. So I did.
So the video just looped.
Yes. So it's really, really awesome. And then I could go on Instagram and see how many people looked at it, at the reel. So that's really awesome. And my grandkids told me that nobody over 50 belongs on TikTok, but I disagree. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And that's another thing that they're doing on TikTok right now. And I'm not as well versed on TikTok, but I'm learning as we go. One thing that's really working right now too is doing that 5 to 7 second video, but then filling your screen with words to where it takes about 6 to 8 seconds to read it. And then people have to watch your video again just to get the full information. You don't want to make it to where they have to come back 6 times to read it, but just if I have to come back and watch your video one more time, that gets you that extra look too. So what's your TikTok handle?
It's Double Trouble Phil 3. So you're able to put it up under Double Trouble.
Double Trouble. All right, I'm gonna follow you.
Under my Instagram and my Facebook that I posted it. So it was really neat. It was the first one that I did on my own, and I thought it was great.
Right on. Well, I'll follow you as soon as we get off here, so you can see some of the silly ones that I do also.
Gotcha.
I'm enjoying the video. We've never done the video, but this is our first year really playing in the short form video, and I wish I'd have had it 2 or 3 years ago, to be honest with you.
Yes, it's neat.
Right on.
Here's one other question. Garrick is asking suggestions for a platform for email and SMS marketing. He says most seem to focus on one or the other.
So the company that we use is called Customer Engine. And it has, so Customer Engine handles the SMS marketing. It has 2-way texting. It also has a gamification that turns your customers only when you want to scale up, when you want to build that list, you can actually turn your customers into affiliate marketers, so to say, and give them offers if they bring more people into your program. And it's not like everybody's go out and sign up to be an affiliate marketer. They just sign up for your VIP program. Then there's a tiered system in there that if you share this, like the Facebook page, get people to sign up, I'll give you a $25 gift card, whatever the case may be. So it's not hounding customers to be affiliate marketers, but it's putting them in a system that if they play the game, they'll become an affiliate marketer without even really realizing it, because they're getting a reward or payment for, marketing for you. Those are the two that we use mostly. I know that there is like Hootsuite, a lot of people use. There's a crowd platform that does both SMS and Yahoo Messenger stuff. I have a lot of friends who use the crowd platform. I don't knock it. The reason that I stay away from the crowd platform is because it's mainly based off of Facebook Messenger through, I think it's called ManyChat, is the software that actually connects your system to people's Facebook Messenger. But when we start talking about platforms, anybody 30, 35 and above, if that's your target market, they're on Facebook. If your target market is 35 and under, they're on Instagram. Right now, kind of everybody's playing around with TikTok to try to learn it. But think about putting all your money into a paid system that you don't own, i.e. Facebook. If all you're doing is paying Facebook ads and all that stuff, you don't own that channel. And when your target market is not on Facebook, I mean, think about college kids right now. There's college kids that are 22, 23, 24. They don't mess around on Facebook. They're about to graduate college. They're about to have families. They're about to have kids. They're about to be our target market. And they're not going to be on Facebook in 5 to 10 years. So just be cautious of how much money you put into these social media platforms that you don't own, because when you get into like the customer engine, the other things of that nature, you can make your money work for you on a platform that you own, and you're not putting your marketing dollars into something that's only reaching a quarter of your target market, so to say, especially over the next 5 to 10 years. And you've got all your money invested into Facebook. Facebook's already said that they're not going to be a forever platform. They're very generational, and that's why they changed their name to Meta. So we do white label also. So if you're interested in doing like the marketing and you want to do it for other things, but when we got our software through Customer Engine, it was literally only like $100 more a month to have 10 options on there for businesses versus just one, right? So we went ahead and got the system that sets me up to be able to do it for 10 different things. And then eventually you can do 25, but that way we run it. We do it behind our marketing agency. We do it behind our food truck. We do it behind our barbecue restaurant. So that's what gives us the ability to help do this with other people as well, is by getting it through the white label and having the extra platforms on there. And if you have a network in your area, I think that was Ron that asked the question. If you had 5 food trucks that all got together and split the cost, it would be almost next to nothing, right? And then it's one of those things that as you go, it's probably in your best interest to kind of start sourcing it out, because creating content does become a bear. But once you have the foundation set and you're ready to do it, and you're ready to take that extra step of doing the SMS or email, it's a lot easier to come off of that, what you have to pay somebody to do that, versus trying to hire somebody that has to do your whole program for you. They're another employee before you're even reaping the benefits of the marketing revenue. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. The next question is from Austin.
Okay.
He is asking the best way to do data acquisition on customers.
Data acquisition. So right now, only 3% of restaurants ask customers for their personal information. And I don't know why that is. And that's coming from, there's a company out there called America's Best Restaurants. It's ran by a guy named Matt Platt out of Kentucky. He does a killer job. He keeps a lot of data, a lot of stats, a lot of info as they travel to restaurants. So you're talking about actually getting the data acquisition to put them into your database, correct?
That's what I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So on the software that we use, we send them through a QR code, either a QR code or a landing page. And let me pull this up real quick. Maybe that'll help somebody out to just see it. Let me. I tell you what, Bill. Let me move on from that question, And
Okay.
when I get done with this, remind me to circle back and show you how we do that.
Okay.
It's going to be easier to show through the QR code process, landing pages, things of that nature of how to obtain the information. But the biggest thing, ask them. Ask them, have a sign up form in your place. Even if it's, you go to a lot of breweries, they do the mug club memberships. They just hand their customers a piece of paper and have them fill it out. If that's what you have to do right now to start, go for it. The fact that only 3% of restaurants ask for the customer's information and only 15% use the database, there's a wide open market for you there to just start asking people.
Let's see. Joanne says most of the customers that she has don't really want to share their personal info. How would you handle someone that's disinterested?
I wouldn't worry about it. They're going to come back when they want to. Remember, your target market are people that you want to engage with you in your digital marketing, as far as your digital marketing target market. So if
Right.
I've got somebody who doesn't want to sign up for my VIP program, whether it be email or whatever, they don't want to, you don't want to, a free appetizer on your birthday, you don't want any of that cool stuff, then I don't stress about it, to be honest with you. I'm going to get them to come back through my grassroots marketing, through different avenues. But if people don't want to give it, they don't have to give it. They're just going to opt out if you make them give it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I got a couple more comments here. Kimberly is giving everybody her Facebook group, I guess. It says Southern Cuisine Catering and Events.
Well, it's not really a group. It's just where everybody could go, and that's how we kind of like market. So I do have my personal page, but then on the group page, you can come on over and see what's going on. You get exclusive before I share it to my personal page.
right on.
So we're like really good at marketing. And the thing is, we've marketed so much, and with the weather being so bad here in Chicago, everybody is anticipating. And I'm like, man, is this a bad thing? Because people really, really want it. And we've already blew them off 3 times.
Nope.
And I don't want to send them running away. Like, we have so many contracts waiting, even at the schools, the grade schools. We have our whole District 88, and they're waiting for the food, and the weather has been sucky.
Consistency is key in that aspect. Don't feel like you've lost them. The only time you lost them is if you've given up on them, to be honest with you. Just stay consistent. Tell that story. Explain to people why you haven't been able to get out yet in your little 15-second. You can take a picture of you can take a little 10-second video of it just raining outside and some sad music next to it, and let people know why you're closed. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes.
Little things like that will resonate with people, and especially if you're getting ready to open and you've got people chomping at the bit.
Yes.
Look up the ability to do kind of an informational drip campaign, and schedule strategic content every few days to keep those people engaged.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you.
And while you're on, Kimberly, go ahead and give your TikTok handle as well, just so people can follow you and see what you're doing there.
It's actually Southern Cuisine Mobile. So I have about 5 videos up. I'm pretty savvy with the social media because I have all teenagers. So my daughter texts me like, okay, I'll be your marketing strategist or whatever, and I'll be your blogger. But they have a huge following on social media.
Nice.
So I kind of like piggyback off of them, and they show me a lot. And right now I am working on Avatar because we're the home of the best macaroni and cheese. So my son, who's 15, he draws and he's in graphic design.
Nice.
So he's creating that right now.
Cool. Right on. And you said something that kind of caught my for a minute, and then you said you had the best mac and cheese, and you threw me for a loop. In my head, I went, no, you don't. I do. So I forgot what I was going to say, but but yeah, no, it's
I'll say the same.
I know what it was. Look in your area too. So if you don't want to get on TikTok, right? If you don't want to get on Instagram and you're like, this is just not me, look up influencer marketing. Find out who in your area. I guarantee you, just like she said with her teenagers, you've got teenagers, younger people, maybe even older people. You'd be surprised. Mm-hmm. That are killing it on TikTok that will do influencer marketing for you. A lot of people are making money on TikTok right now, just doing influencer marketing.
Yeah, my son, he's 15 and he has 50,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, there you go. So use those people. You got your son, you ain't got to pay him. You got to let him know you got a place to sleep if he puts it out there.
Yes.
But seriously, we have a pizza company, pizza place right now in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, that is using a TikTok influencer, and they're paying him, a few $100 a month, but he's creating all their TikTok accounts for the next year, or TikTok videos for the next year, and they're just going to put them out as he gets them. So that's an amazing opportunity.
That's so cool. I seen someone just put the mac and cheese showdown. Let's do it.
Oh, was that 520? Was that John that said that?
That was Ron Coolcat that said that.
Ron Coolcat. All right. I think we should do that. So I thought 520 was in here a little bit ago. We actually did a mac and cheese showdown at the food truck park last year. And it turned into kind of I couldn't even make it to it, but we did one of those last year. It was fun.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to come down to Chicago and check out your mac and cheese, though, especially now that you got Southern cuisine. We're in.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there.
Thank you.
We are gonna be there for sure. Any other questions, Bill?
There's a comment that I think should maybe spark some inspiration there. And it says it's from iPad. I don't know if that's Lauren or someone else's. But in any case, it says, I was told by my son I need more pictures of food. His generation loves food pictures.
Mm-hmm. So you can see this picture that I have up here right now. I just started this group about a month ago now, and it only has about 70 members in it. We keep it really small. It's really only me putting stuff in there, but I know a lot of people pull some stuff and some content out of it. So feel free to join that group. You can see in that picture that I put people, products, and processes. If you can capture those three things, that's what people love to see. Pictures of food, videos of food, videos of pictures of food, however you can get it. Absolutely. That's part of showing people that smile before they get to your establishment. There's little things you can look at. I'll just give one quick, since we got a question on food photography. I'm going to pull up my camera here real quick. I'm not sure. I'm sharing my screen, so you won't be able to, but when you pull up your camera, I don't know if people probably can't actually see me anymore or not, but on your camera, if you put your little grid squares on there and learn to take your food photos with your main item right on the X of one of those grid squares, your photos will automatically turn out a lot better. That's like the one small photography tip of the day that's really easy to do.
Okay, it looks like it's all the questions we got so far. One thing I want to piggyback on what you said with the photograph you have up there right now of people, products, and processes. Basically, what you're looking at is the people part of a video or something you're going to put on any of the social medias would be either the guest or it actually could be the owner, because people love knowing the owner. Certainly the products is self-explanatory, but the processes is another good one, because that's a nice little short video of you cutting lettuce or you cooking a particular product. That's the process that a lot of people would take a great interest in, and makes a nice short little cute video. Put some cute music with it, and you've got a week for sure. Yeah. So definitely use those three things to inspire you in all of your content. Because there's so many times I would sit and draw a blank and I'll just pull up something like that and go, okay, yeah, people. Let's talk about people today. Let's talk about a product today.
And if you do go into this Rogue group, I just called it Rogue because it kind of made a cool acronym for what we wanted to do with it. If you go in there in the files section every month, in fact, I'm putting the one for March in there tomorrow. We drop a content calendar in there every month. So if you're just kind of like, man, I don't know what to put out today, that content calendar really focuses on capturing the people, products, and processes through live videos, photos, interactions. So it'll automatically bolster your social media presence just by following that content calendar, if you just don't really know what to put out either.
Right. Yeah, that's an absolutely awesome idea. Wish I'd have come up with that. So everybody join his group and get into that to see.
And all I do is put marketing tips out there. It's not and it kind of goes back to the same thing. It's like, I tell people this all the time is, we did start a marketing company off of the opportunity to help other restaurants and food trucks and small businesses in general to to build this digital foundation and start getting their story and their products out there to people. The one thing about the restaurant world specifically in marketing right now is if you have marketers that come to you, make sure they're solving a problem for your business. If marketers come, marketing is not sales, right? Marketing is sales, but it's not sales. It's marketing and sales. The marketing part of it, if I'm selling you, if it's not solving a problem, if somebody's just selling you something and trying to get money out of your pocket and not solving a true problem for your business, they're just a slimy salesman. They're not marketers, right? Because a true marketer is going to get in there and help you figure out what they can do to help the problem in your business. Marketing solves problems, which then in turn leads to sales.
It looks like we've ended all the questions, unless somebody's got a last minute one. We'll be right at an hour.
All right, I'm gonna. I tell you what, then what I'll do. So whoever had the question about data acquisition, we use QR codes, we use landing pages, and when you go to that, it will automatically send it to you. So if you click, if you want to see that in action, go to that whitebusmedia.com. So when you go on there and see the demonstration, so to say, of text message marketing, there'll be a little landing page on the little widget on the bottom. All that one's going to do is give you you got to put your phone number in, and it will send you the video of how the text message marketing actually works. And on that widget, I only have a phone number, but when we go to landing pages for you to get, I might give you, like I got one guy right now we're working with, he runs a podcast and barbecue thing down in Georgia. So what we do with his is he drafted up an e-cookbook, right? He drafted up all these recipes for barbecue. So when people go to the landing page, they put in their name, their date of birth, their phone number, their email, any information you want. And then he in turn gives them the free cookbook. But now he has all that data in his database to use to send birthday gift cards or whatever you have set up in your business to follow that. So if you really want to see how that works with QR codes and things of that nature, check out that. It's like a 15-minute video. You can go on there and listen to me flap my gums about how we actually do it.
All right. We got right at an hour, a little over an hour. This was an awesome presentation. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope to see some of you guys. And if there's anything I can ever answer for you, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, definitely. They should definitely join your group and follow all the information you got. But again,
well, I appreciate it. And I'm also in the food truck training group. So you'll see me piling around in there, and you'll probably really see me being a jerk. So I see some people saying that 30% DoorDash fees are good for them. You'll see me put my 2 cents in on those comments as well. So,
well, it's the same thing with me when they say 3 times cost. That just gets under my skin so much. Like it wasn't 1982, dude. It's not anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. 110%. So unless anybody has any specific questions for me, I guess that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. I'll stay on.
I just want to say hi to Double Trouble. I always see her, but hello.
All right.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
Oh, also one thing I forgot real quick. I'm sorry for anybody that's still there. This month in that road group on Thursdays I think I have it 3 o'clock Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. We're going to start an in-depth course on how to build this digital foundation. So there are 2-hour segments. I'll try my best to record them. And what it's going to do is kind of go in depth with step number 1. Week 2, we're going to go in depth with step number 2, step number 3, 4, 5, right? And it's going to be fun for us as well, because we're actually going to work through all the rebranding of our business in March as we do this with everybody else who signs up, completely free. We're just trying to put all this information so we can get good stuff out there. But eventually, if we put value behind it, we may start charging for these courses. But for right now, for the next few months, every time we do these are free. So jump in on that group if you really want to work through that process individually and get some help with it.
We got one question I want to do real quick. Can you give the actual name of the group and how people can find it? I'm going to find the link real quick too.
Oh, let me go back screen. Here you go, right there. There's the link at the bottom. Facebook.com/groups/rogue DM.
All right. And I'll post the link in our group so people can find it as well.
Cool. I appreciate that, Bill.
Not a problem. The information was valuable, and I think people get a lot of inspiration from what you've been talking about, and hopefully get their marketing on track, because you're not going to generate sales if you don't have marketing. You will
Right,
eventually
absolutely.
run out of people to try your food.
And the last thing that I'll say before people start dipping out is, if your marketing budget isn't paying for itself, then speak to a different marketer.
Yep.
Speak
That's
to
for
a different
sure.
marketer. That's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah, that's for sure. You got to have a marketing budget, and you got to see the results from that.
Absolutely. If you can't see the results in numbers, get a different marketer.
Yep. That's for sure.